reality of AI engineer skills. So before getting into reality, let's understand the first thing. What a AI engineer do in his day-to-day job role? The very first thing he is doing in a day-to-day job role is he is trying to automate the process. What he is trying to do? He is trying to automate the business process. So he's trying to automate the business process with the help of AI. So with the help of what? AI. And currently we call this AI, we are trying to build agentic AI. We are currently building it or automating it with the help of agentic AI. And in the olden days also, we are trying to automate the business process. So with the help of what? We used to automate with the help of RPA, robotic process automation. After that, we used to automate it with the help of ML or DL. We used to automate the business process. One of the example using machine learning or deep learning is you're able to take a check, you go to the bank, you're able to deposit automatically. There is a deep learning algorithm, or we call it as OCR, optical character recognition, which is built on top of deep learning. It's going to recognize the elements in a check and automatically it's going to be deposited, which is going to automate with the help of ML or DL. Now currently you are automating with agentic AI. So agentic AI major goal is what? To perform actions. It can perform actions for you, it can build websites for you, it is able to maybe like create images for you or create videos for you, or it is able to edit the stuff for you, it is able to maybe like book a flight tickets for you. So this is going to be more agentic in nature. And before even agentic AI, there is one more division, we can call it as Gen AI, where exactly if you give a text, it is able to generate a response, where we are able to use it primarily for a chatbot. Now the extended version of Gen AI is going to be a pretty much agentic before we are getting deep into it. Now what an AI engineer is doing, he's trying to automate the business process. Now every business want to implement something latest to automate it. Now ML, they feel it as outdated, Gen AI they feel is outdated. What is latest right now? Agentic AI is something latest as of now. And what type of process they are trying to automate? They are trying to automate two different types of process. One, we are able to call it as friction removal. Now, people try to create projects which are going to remove the friction. What exactly meant by friction? Now, I'm trying to book the flight tickets. In order to book a flight tickets, I'll be searching from which location to which location, and the searching and comparing the prices, looking at the right seating. So all of this is a friction. So is there a way that we are able to eliminate this friction? Is there a way by using agentic AI are we able to eliminate the friction? Or by using Gen AI can be eliminated? Or by using RPA can be eliminated? Or by using ML or DL? So now we are able to see, hey, by using agentic you can eliminate the friction. And apart from it, there is one more, we call it as non-value added activities, NVA. What is this? We call non-value added activities. What is NVA here? Now, for example, customers are not ready or willing to pay for the stuff. For example, let's say customer support. Customers are not really willing to pay for a customer support. Now, is there a way? Now, for example, I had 100 customer support team. Now, customers are not ready to pay for it, but I want to give a customer support. Without a proper customer support, no one going to get into my business. So, for that reason, what happens? But entire customer support is an expense. So entire customer support going to be your expenses. I need to hire humans and I want to invest the money. Is there a way that can I remove this customer support? So with the help of, again, they are trying to see, can we automate it with agentic AI? Are we able to automate with ML or DL? Or we are able to automate with RPA? They are able to think around it. Now, in order to currently, as of now, what is latest, what is current trending right now in the organization or the enterprise wide, it's going to be agentic AI. So in order to build this agentic AI, you need to go for two types of difference. So whenever you are getting into an AI project, you're gonna come two different, you need to ask only two questions. Now it's going to be AI project, you need to ask two questions. The very first question going to be, do we need to build AI to automate the customer support or to remove the friction, or do we need to buy AI? Do we need to build AI or do we need to buy AI? If I want to build AI, so you can build machine learning models, you can build deep learning models, you can build LLM models from scratch, you need to build it. So in order to build it, you need to know the math behind ML, DL, LLMs, and you need to be very good with your programming. And the next one going to be buy AI. So now you cannot go and build it. I want to use the models from ChatGPT, or I want to use the AI from Gemini, or I want to use the AI from Claude or from Llama. I want to start using it. So this is called what? Buy AI. Either you will be trying to download the model using Ollama, or you are able to start doing it through Hugging Face, or you are able to start accessing it with API keys. So now, or you are able to start doing it with Amazon Bedrock. Different ways to access this models. Now let's say you have taken your buy AI, so now you are taking your LLM model. So now we all know the regular AI model which you are able to take, the regular LLM model which you take is a monolithic system. You are able to provide an input, it is able to start providing an output. It doesn't has any certain amount of intelligence. So now you are able to simply take an LLM, you give an input, you can get an output. But in order to automate a particular business process, you cannot rely on a monolithic system. You need to use a compound AI system. So compound AI system means you cannot just work around only having a simple LLM, you give a prompt, you get a response. That doesn't really work. So what you need to do is your LLM model need to contain certain elements. For example, let's say instead of the simple divisions. So these are the kind of elements we start using it. The very first one in lines of LLM model skills or agentic or AI skills, the current demanding skills is, now in order to make your LLM to automate a process, the very first is we need to have your memory. You need to have a memory, and within that memory you have two types. So now one going to be a short-term memory, another one going to be a long-term memory. So in order to create the short-term memory is nothing but your conversational memory. Now user is trying to chat with the chatbot, so the entire conversation is taken as your short-term memory, and long-term memory going to be your external data. So you need to know how to feed external data to your LLM model. So you need to know how to feed external data to your LLM model, how to create a short-term memory to your LLM model. Another question you can ask. So to be an AI engineer, can I do it with non-programming tools? Yes, you are able to do non-programming tools. You can use N8N, you can use Make. But the problem is, if you want to build a complex automations for an organization, you cannot really do it with UI-based tools. You need to rely on programming. So can I use ChatGPT? It's a pointless question. So now people are paying you fat salaries not really to use ChatGPT, but to build this kind of system. So now you are trying to create a memory or you are providing external data to your LLM model with the help of RAG architecture, retrieval augmented generation. And within this retrieval augmented generation, you have types. We call it as chunking strategy, and we have RAG types. There are different types of RAG. So we call hybrid RAG, we call RAG types, hybrid RAG, C-RAG, self-RAG, all of these different types we have it. And the next, after knowing about external data, again how exactly you can connect external data with your LLM model is with the help of API key, or you need to connect it with the help of MCP, Model Context Protocol. And after completion of external data, the next level. So now here LLM is going to be what? Mostly it is acting like a brain. And within this LLM, you are able to select again two types. Either you can go for a single worker. If you are trying to build an agent, only one LLM is trying to do the action, or you are able to go with multi-worker. So multiple LLM models are trying to perform an action. So we call agentic AI or multi-agent system. You are able to use only single LLM model, or a multiple LLM models are trying to complete a entire action. So we call it a single worker or a multi-worker. And after that, you are trying to provide proper prompt engineering. So now you need to reduce hallucination for your agents. So you are trying to, in order to behave, how exactly your LLM models to behave, how exactly your agents to behave, you are controlling with the help of prompt engineering. So within this prompt engineering, again, you are able to do few shot prompt, chain of thought prompt, self-correction prompt. You are able to do dynamic few shot prompt. You are able to create various prompt templates. And after prompt engineering, you are trying to control the behavior of your LLM models. For that, you need to set guardrails. You need to set guardrails. So what exactly, for example, some people are asking about crime. Some people are asking about self-harm, or some people are asking or are using the bad words. So you are trying to control everything with the help of guardrails, or we call them as governance. And again, you need to know architecture. What is architecture here? So your LLM models can be designed in different architecture: single agent architecture, multi-agent architecture, so human in loop architecture, react architecture, plan and action architecture. So now you need to study about different architectures. You are able to develop those architectures with the help of Lang chain, not really Lang chain, but we use it Lang graph, Crew AI. You are able to use deep agents. By using, you are able to create architecture. So now architecture, guardrails, prompt engineering, and you are trying to go with single agent worker or a multi-agent worker. You are having a memory, short-term memory, long-term memory. Within long-term memory, you are using RAG architecture. And the next one going to be after guardrails, you need to have a proper evaluation metrics. You need to have proper evaluation metrics. So the evaluation metrics are looking for groundedness. It is looking for groundedness. So now if someone is asking a question, is it really looking into our external data? So is it grounded? We are looking at PII. So is it leaking any personal information? So do our LLM models, are they leaking any personal information? So now are we able to change the behavior of LLM models with the help of prompt injection? So is there any toxicity? So now while it is trying to give a response, or while someone is asking a question, is there any toxicity? So while people are using this agent, so what is the satisfaction of this agentic action? So now in this way, we are able to look at various evaluations. We need to understand various evaluations. Is our LLM model is properly designed? So now by using this agent, is it really safe or not? And we need to start observing our models. So we need to start monitoring our agents. We can monitor all our agents using Lang-Smith, or we can use it using Grafana or Prometheus. In this way, we are able to use our tools in order to monitor our LLM models. Now, currently, if you are building agents, you need to have understanding of monitoring. You need to have understanding of evaluation. You need to have understanding of guardrails or governance. You need to have knowledge of your prompt engineering, how you can create prompt engineering. And you need to have understanding of your multi-worker, single worker, and you need to have an understanding of your memory. So these are the primary important skills. And apart from it, for example, now here I'm using single worker, multi-worker. So all of this is linked to what? Billing. For example, now you are trying to automate it. So what you are doing, you are trying to come up with, you are trying to remove a particular non-value added activity. So in order to run this activity, every month we are spending 1 lakh rupee. Let's say by using this LLM chatbots, we are able to spend somewhere around 2 lakh rupee. There is no point in this LLM, right? The overall goal is how we can reduce the billing of your LLM. So now all of this need to work around the billing. It's not about how well you are designing it. It's more about, are you able to perform billing optimization? So how you are able to reduce billing optimization? So with the help of your memory. So for example, let's say your short-term memory, long-term memory, now it contains tokens. So now your charge is happening based on tokens. So your external data, so like it is happening token consumption. Now you are trying to fit to multiple LLMs, again tokens. Prompt engineering, the amount of prompt template you created, the amount of few shot example you created, tokens. Guardrails, which are also again prompts itself. So now everything you designed here is running or happening around the tokens. Now you need to optimize your tokens. So that is one way. Apart from token optimization, the another way going to be you need to work around. So now I'm using a bigger size models, or shall I go with a mini models or a nano models, or we call SLM, small language models, or shall I take a free model from Hugging Face? Shall I do fine tuning on top of it so that we're going to reduce what billing? Now your goal is around how exactly you can build agents and how you can optimize agents so that your overall you can develop agents for a long run, not just for a testing sake or not just at a POC level. So that is the goal behind the current reality of AI skills. If I want to do fine tuning, just knowing Python, so this is all pure Python programming. Just Python programming is not sufficient. You need to learn about machine learning concepts and deep learning concepts. So without understanding what is neural networks, without understanding what is transformers, you cannot really go and do fine tuning. So that's the reason if you are trying to be into an AI engineer role, you need to learn all the skills which I mentioned with Python programming, plus you need to know about this particular concepts from machine learning or deep learning. So now you need to understand deep learning. Before you need to understand deep learning, you need to know about machine learning. Within machine learning, you have concepts like supervised learning, self-supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. You need to understand these concepts. And you need to understand concepts like what is variance, bias, trade-off. You need to understand it. And from the deep learning, you need to understand concepts like gradient descent. You need to understand about CNNs, convolution neural networks. You need to understand about RNNs, recurrent neural networks. You need to understand about transformers. Within transformers, you need to understand about attention mechanism. And you need to understand about encoding techniques. So how exactly you do tokenization and encoding. For example, if you are trying to go for transformer architecture, there is a positional encoding. So what is rotatory positional encoding? So you need to understand about those kind of concepts. So the entire transformer mechanism, why all LLMs are running around transformers. You need to understand transformers. You need to understand about pretty much on gradient descent. They ask you mostly questions on gradient descent. And again, from deep learning is all about what? Artificial neural networks. You better understand the entire ANNs so you are able to answer questions on transformers attention mechanism. And then you need to understand about fine tuning, types of fine tuning, and reinforcement learning, human feedback. You need to learn. And once it is done, so you are able to crack the interviews, and there are going to be some questions how you handle end-to-end projects. So for handling end-to-end projects, you need to be aware of CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous development, using AWS or Azure or GCP, Google Cloud Platform. If you are able to learn these skills in a nutshell, you are able to start applying for AI engineering job roles. So currently your day-to-day work rotates around this particular skill set. So try to be familiar with this particular skills and be very, very good with your programming so that you are able to easily crack AI engineering roles. I hope you got an idea. Any doubts, please share your views in the comments. Thank you.